Oh, morning, coach, and happy New Year to you as well. I'm doing good, man. It's been what? It's been a month of Sunday since I've been on this show, so it's good to be
Hey,
back and good to be here. Look, good to see your jovial self this
hey,
morning.
yeah, that's me. That's me, man. That's me. That's me. I'm the Black Santa Claus all year long. I just ain't got no presents for nobody. That's what it is, man. Well, hey, man, I know 2023 was the year of Tyrone Johnson. So what you got in store for us for 2024, man? I mean, you ended the year down in Vegas winning a big national tournament after all the coaches of the years, the state championships. 23, man, I know you hate to see that go.
Man, I'm looking forward to 2024, man. 2023 was definitely a good year for us in terms of the program and um, just the growth of the program for the success of the program, and we're looking forward to continuing that on into 2024. And as always, we trying to chase our freshman and JV programs. Uh, it's tough. It's tough to go undefeated for years in a row. So we always chasing greatness.
Hey man, we just we understand the situation. Coach Janie's doing well on the freshman team. She keeps sending me up really good players who've already been undefeated, know what it's like. So they're just continuing on the tradition from freshman year. Then they go up there and get with you, and then they go get beat up a little bit.
And take a couple losses. Get some reality check. Take a couple losses. Yep.
The competition level goes up a whole lot too, and you're still holding your own. So, what you've done with that program, with the culture of the program, is awesome. As the same with all the high schools in the city, and so we just want to wish all the high schools and Northern Arizona University a happy New Year, productive and successful 2024. So,
Yep.
just excited about what the year has to bring us, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 2024 is here, so
It's,
we
it's,
might as
it's
well get
here.
it going.
It's here, man. But one thing I gotta ask you, man. I've been waiting for you to get on the show for a couple weeks now. To ask you this, man.
Oh wow,
Uh,
here we go.
I remember when you played back in the NAU, you got your nose broke, man.
Hmm.
Right, and they had to give you that mask and everything. How
Correct.
well did you take the pain of that, man?
Oh, I took it like a G.
You show see, because
I'm fine.
we had a girl on that was like about 5'3", 5'4", was a twirler. Said she broke her nose about 4, 5 times. Twirling the baton. And I say, well, Coach only broke his one. He really acted like a baby. So I just want to check.
Hey man, the severity of my break was pretty. I had to get mine surgically repaired. They even put a plaster cast over my nose. That's the severity of mine, impacted, and so yeah, man, it was almost like plastic surgery to get mine fixed.
Oh, and you took it and went back out there and played.
Yes, sir.
Did you go in there for any rebounds or did you just kind of cover up?
Well, after I got the mask and everything, we were just in practice. I don't know if it was practice or game. I can't quite remember, but I do remember an elbow come at me. We going in big Toby.
I remember
He
Tobias.
boom, and that thing hit and that mask went way over here. I said, "Woo! Thank goodness for this mask."
And that mask actually came from the Detroit Pistons, correct? They went all the way
It,
to Detroit. Well, is
it
that the
did.
way
They
they could
put the
get the
mold on
picture?
my face and sent the mold over there, and then the Pistons crafted the mask and sent it on back. So.
Is that the only place they could get one to fit your head? Or what was I'm just asking why they had to go all the way to the Detroit Pistons, man.
Hey man, we didn't have the same technology as we do nowadays, so they
Oh,
had to
gotcha.
send it to
Okay.
somebody who knew what they was doing.
All right. All right. Well, that's good stuff,
Man, get
man.
on with that. Can't keep messing with you.
Hey, man. I had to start 2024 right, and I had to get you first before you got me. So I'm good now. I'm good. 2024, I'm good the rest of the year.
Oh,
Well,
you're
good,
funny.
man. Hey, it's snowing outside. It's cold. Flagstaff at its best, man. And so, I can't figure out a better way than to start 2024 than with the guests we have today. Okay.
Yeah.
This young man has, I believe, lettered in a way that I think I've never ever heard before.
Mhm.
And he can correct me when he come on. But the young man's name is Evan Hofstetter. Hope I got that right. Good morning, Evan. How are you, man? You doing good? Hey, happy New Year to you, man. I tell
Happy
you
New
what,
Year, Evan.
it's special being the first show of the year, the first person we have on guest on the show for 2024, man. And
happy to be here.
yeah, man. So and being here and Coach Johnson's here, I'm in the company of greatness right now. So I like that. Now, Evan,
good time.
Yes, correct me if I'm wrong. You have lettered in 6 sports at basis?
6 sports, that's correct, yep.
How do you do that?
So it's...
Well, I'll tell you what, first, so Coach Johnson doesn't get mad, tell us a little bit about yourself and then how it evolved into these 6 sports.
Yeah, so my first sport that I kind of fell in love with was soccer. And then, I found like cross country a little bit after, and they were at the same time. And I didn't want to give up either one. And that was really early on. I was like middle school. So then I tried to do that, and then pretty much no one stopped me. My parents were like pretty happy about that as well. And then so from that point forward, I was like, I can pretty much, as long as I can do fine in school and do fine in those sports, I can keep doing them. And then I've always just wanted to try everything. I love new experiences. And with that, I've just started to pick up some new sports.
So then, Evan, like Coach was saying, so once you get into high school, how does the sports season run? Did you letter like your freshman year in a couple, then you switch sports, or is this all one year that you play these 6 different sports?
Yeah, so from freshman to junior year, it was a little weird sophomore year with the COVID year, but I did only 4 sports those 3 years. But it was my senior year; I did all 6 in my senior year.
How do you do that?
So Basis is a pretty small school, and with that, they are trying to get as many people as possible. My soccer coach was the same as my track coach. My cross country coach was also a bit of my track coach, and then probably the only coaches that would have been maybe against it were my basketball coaches, and that was the only sport that was by itself. So they couldn't. I couldn't afford to tell me to not do multiple sports at once, because if if my soccer coach were to tell me like, oh, you have to quit cross country in order to do soccer, the team would only have 10 or 11 people.
So you literally played 2 sports at once.
Yep, I was 3 in spring.
I'm gonna ask the same question the coach just asked. How did you do that?
So cross country and soccer were in the fall, and I just went to pretty much 2 practices for soccer a week, 3 for cross country, and then luckily the meets never conflicted. And then basketball was all by itself. Put a lot of focus into that, and then the hard one was the 3 sports in the spring. But Basis has a thing where, as a senior, I'm not in school after February. So I had a ton of free time. So you have 2 quarters of school, and then you have like a senior project, which I wrote a little paper on phoretic mites. But then I was also doing the 3 sports, which were tennis, volleyball, and track. And tennis and volleyball, always the practices were about 4 to 5 o'clock. So I would just alternate those, and then track practice was always 5:15 to 6:30. So I would just always go to track practice and then alternate tennis and volleyball.
And the coaches were good with that, obviously.
Coaches were all right with that. Yep.
Yeah. But you said that you had to make a decision pretty early in middle school. Situations like this, kids usually start soccer, like micro soccer, 2nd, 3rd grade, basketball, youth basketball. So you actually started late.
I played soccer, all the way back in like 3rd, 4th grade. Mm-hmm. Same with cross country, but all the other sports came 8th grade or after.
Right. And what drew you to those other sports after you had so many? You were doing so many already. Yeah.
So my brother did basketball and told me to try out, and then I just did 1 year. I was gonna quit. He told me to do another, and then that probably became my favorite sport for a while. Volleyball, a really good friend of mine, Brian Kang, really wanted to have a team. Mm-hmm. and he asked me, he's like, yeah, you need to do all these other sports as well. Why don't you, come on board, give it a shot? And we didn't actually have a coach. That ended up being my dad, who has about as much volleyball experience as I do. But we had a good time. We all learned it. It was pretty fun. Tennis was all just. I already had 5 at that point, and I decided to do it. And then track kind of always seemed like it would be my best sport. And it was. And then I found jumping pretty early on, which is my main thing. Yeah.
So what do you do as far as in jumping? Are you like a high jumper, long jumper, triple jumper, all the above?
Yeah. So I started long and triple were my 2 best through high school, as well as the 400 and probably the 200. But now actually in at UC Santa Cruz, I'm doing decathlon. So I'm doing, even in track, I'm doing 10 events plus triple jump. So I'm even doing 11 there.
So see, that was going to be my question. If you took that into college, because I know they got like the decathlons and all that type of stuff, because it seemed like doing them many sports in high school, you would just be a prime candidate to do like a decathlon.
That's pretty much what my coach thought. Yeah. Yeah. And then, he's also throwing me in the 400 hurdles. So I'll be doing 12 events, I guess, in college.
Wow.
So you beat even what you've done in high school now in college, right?
It feels pretty similar, to be honest. Yeah. And that's how I want it too.
So how does that work? We all know that as you play different sports, you're using different muscles, you're using different body parts. How did you keep your body healthy and in shape for all these?
I think playing that many sports is actually a big contributor for me to not getting injured in like non-contact injuries. I am using all my different muscles, and as long as I don't get take a bad hit or anything, I actually think it helped me stay healthy. The first couple practices of each season, I was really sore, but I think it was probably for my benefit going into track.
So what's the workload difference? I mean, if you were a little bit sore coming into college, what's the workload difference as far as your preparation or your weightlifting or your training between what you were doing in high school and what you're doing now in college?
It's pretty different. We didn't have really any weight room stuff that I did with the school. That was kind of on my own in school. So right now I'm doing, I believe it's going to be like 9 practices a week for track. I'll be doing 3 weightlifting, 3 throwing, and then 3 running practices. And then so that's pretty similar to what I was doing in the spring, but just a bit of a higher intensity. I would say it is just a lot more running, a lot more lifting. But in terms of my actual time I spend putting into it, it is similar.
Okay. And then how do you balance that time with being an actual student?
Yeah, it hasn't been bad yet. I've only done 1 quarter. We'll see. Yeah, these courses, I purposely took a bit of an easier course load to make sure I could do it, and there was no issues there. Nice. I will say, at one point, my coach asked me if I could leave, 1 o'clock to 6 o'clock on my schedule open Monday through Friday for scheduling upcoming classes, and I couldn't do that. If you're wondering, it's just not possible. But I'll just take each semester at a time, and hopefully it works out.
Well, that's all right. And so, which do you have a favorite sport, or do all of them when it comes? Let's just go do it.
Yeah. They all have their own thing. I will say track's probably my favorite. It's the one I think about all the time. It's the one after about sophomore year. I was like, that's what I'm gonna do for after high school. Mm-hmm. I will say probably basketball is my favorite sport. Mm-hmm. It kind of didn't come naturally. I think I wasn't really I feel like able to do anything until about my sophomore year, and that made it just all the more fun when I feel like it clicked around my junior or senior year. And then it's a sport I did with my best friend Jack. He's still playing, and that's probably my favorite sport. Soccer is what I've been doing for the longest. until about my freshman year. That's what I thought I would do in college, and then at cross country was my favorite throughout middle school, and that just slowly transitioned to track. But yeah, I'd have to say probably track.
Okay, so then if basketball was one of your favorite sports, Coach Neal always trying to do a challenge. Do you think that if one-on-one you and Coach Neal played, you would be able to beat Coach Neal?
Ooh,
the answer is yes.
I'm gonna say yes. I haven't seen much film, but
there's no film.
I'm gonna say I believe in my abilities. I'm gonna say yes.
I like that.
Well, hey, I'm 69 years old and I still believe in my abilities too. So it's all. It is all, man. So what college are you at now?
University of California in Santa Cruz.
All right. And how do you like it?
A lot. It's perfect. I think it's like the perfect college for me. I really like the coach. Really have like the friends, and I like the area.
Mm-hmm. So one of the things that we talked about doing a show about is recruiting, and what you go through, the pressures or the non-pressures, or excuse me, everything's different. I didn't personally go through it myself, but I went through it with my son a little bit. How was it with you in so many sports?
Yeah, I think it caught my coach's attention for sure. Something he said to me when I'll say I wanted to go to Santa Cruz. I had reached out. He told me my marks could be on the team, and that's pretty lucky to know I have a spot. But when I visited, he was worried. He said, I think you might get bored just doing one sport. I'd like you to try some multis, and that's how that came to be.
And when you talk about the decathlon, now what all events do you do? Are you doing like the throwing events like the javelin and shot put and all that good stuff?
Yep. So it's 4 running events, 3 jumping events, and 3 throwing events. So I throw the shot put, the javelin, and the discus, and then I high jump, long jump, and pole vault, and then I'll run the 100, 400, 110 hurdles, and 1500.
Wow. So what's the highest you done cleared on that pole vault?
I have never done pole vault. So I believe I've cleared a 9-foot bungee, which is not great, but it's still first year. We'll get there.
So you're obviously not scared of heights. I see people doing that pole vault, and I know that once I got up there, I would probably pass out on the way down or something. So I'm scared of heights.
Luckily, I'm not getting that high, so I haven't had that
yet. So then, what's your, I guess, best event in the decathlon?
So yeah, it's based on points. So for a certain mark, you get a certain amount of points. So technically, right now, my 400 PR is the highest point scoring event, which I find odd because competitively I've done better in long jump, but long or 400 are quite close.
Okay. Nice.
And so when does that season start?
So same as track, but we're giving myself a little more time to pole vault and hurdle and put on a little more weight to throw. So I'm only going to do that probably starting around mid-May with my first official decathlon competition. And before that, I'll just be doing some of the preliminary events to get some marks.
Right. Now, isn't school out during that time? You're talking mid-May.
So my school's on quarter system. Okay. So I go to school like September 20th and then I get back June 20th. So everything's shifted about a month over.
Okay. Gotcha.
Nice.
Good.
What's been your favorite thing about being a college athlete so far?
Let's see. Probably the coach and probably like the access to the weight room. Like it's showing results really fast. I think, I'm really excited about it. I've put on, I think it was like 18 pounds in the first 3 months I got there. Wow. Just, muscle and lifting and dining hall food.
Yes. And you have to do that when you're talking about throwing the discus.
Yep.
But having to put on that weight for the discus and the throwing events, how does that affect your running events where putting on more weight would seem to slow you down?
Yeah, that's what I've been wondering, and that's what we're gonna have to find out. I think I would expect my 100 time to go up, and I believe my long jump will follow that. And then there's certain ones where like high jump where I don't know, it could go either way. My vertical seems the same, but we'll see. And then something like the 1500, it's probably going to lose a couple seconds for sure. But it's the trade-off's worth it.
Right. And because you're doing decathlon, that's affecting everybody. So everybody's doing the decathlon has the same problem as you. So it's not like you're at a disadvantage.
Nope, exactly. Yeah, there's probably some guys that are quite a lot bigger that are trying to get a little smaller to be competitive in the 1500 and 400, and I'm going the other way.
What's your plyometric routine like to keep your ups?
It's a lot of flies, 10-meter, 30-meter sprints, and then just some box jumps and stuff. But it is actually pretty. I was surprised when I got there. We only do plyo once every week or something every other, just for injury concerns. He's saying like you're doing enough. We don't want to put a bunch of stress on your tendons and get you hurt before you even get a mark.
Okay, that's interesting. That's definitely interesting.
Yeah. So with your season starting in May and you're training now, what if the basketball coach came to you next year and said, "I need you on the team"?
Well, I'd probably let's see. I'd probably not tell my track coach. Try and keep that a little hidden. And I'd go play some basketball. But my decathlon season will start May, but indoor track season starts February 2nd.
Yeah, basketball's over.
Yeah. So I'll still be getting some track events in, just not fully the decathlon.
Yes, indeed. So what position did you play in basketball?
Point guard after sophomore year.
Okay. So you're a floor general. You can control things, huh?
Yep. Fast and just use the track abilities. Yep.
But it seems also that just because you're doing so much stuff with your vertical and things like that, that had to help you in basketball. It
did. After my junior year, I was like barely touching backboard. I was still, I want to say about 5'6" at the time. And then like my senior year, I only do like an inch and a half. I was like 5'7", and I was dunking, and that was pretty fun.
Wait, hold on. Wait, but coach, don't you say nothing. I know what you were 5'7" and slam dunking.
Slam's a bit of an exaggeration. It was a dunk, but yeah, my friend Jack it doesn't count, but rim grazer, but I'm accounting it.
Count it for sure, because some people are 5'7" on a good day and can't touch the net. I ain't gonna say no names.
He definitely can't be talking about me because I'm 5'9" and I can touch the rim. I used to, but anyway, that is impressive. So you're obviously just a pure athlete.
Yep.
So is this something that runs through the family?
Definitely. Yeah. Both my brother's a year ahead of me. He won state in the 800. He's at Cornell running for them.
Oh, yeah.
And then
big time.
Yep. My mom is the state record holder in the triple jump for her age class, which was 50 to 54.
Wow.
And then yes, he's done a couple marathons as well. And then I think the person I'm most similar to body-wise is my dad. He was kind of the same as me, doing all these sports, and then he ran track over at Dartmouth.
Oh wow! Well, the apple doesn't fall that far from the tree, does it?
No.
That's good. And I'm positive that they're so supportive of you.
Definitely. Yep.
And it seems it seems like a very competitive family. How was it with little games around the house?
It was good. We have a little mini basketball hoop in our living room. And yeah, a couple dents in the walls, but.
So Evan, tell us how important is it to have that support of your parents and your sibling, have a healthy competitive sibling rivalry, but then have the support of your parents as you're eyeing and pursuing your own goals?
It's critical. I really don't know how it would have been possible without it. Yeah, I mean, having my brother to compete with all these years was just a motivational drive just year round, and then yeah, my parents were just so supportive and just know a lot about sports, and yeah, no, it's vital, 100%.
So, do you have anybody at basis now trying to follow in your footsteps?
I would say there's a couple coming up. It has become a bit of the culture to do multiple sports. When I joined tennis and volleyball, the person I could think of was he's a junior now named Rowdy, and he did those as well. He joined tennis and volleyball with me, as well as doing basketball, and then he joined soccer. And then, a couple other people have done that. I think a lot of people, I would say half the basketball team does 4 sports.
Really?
Yeah. And that's my brother kind of did that first. He did, I believe, a 5-sport season, and then I followed it with a 6-sport, and that's kind of just become the norm. And yeah.
Little known fact about basis that's been hid underneath the cover.
Yep.
You guys are doing big things over there, man. That's awesome. That is awesome.
So did you do 6 sports just to one up your brother?
Well, a little bit, but I just want to play tennis. So
that's that competitiveness again. Yes, indeed. And so, is 6 sports the most? I mean, besides football and baseball, you played everything, and wrestling, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know anyone who's done 6. I don't know anyone who's done more than 6.
But they don't offer football at basis, correct?
They don't offer football. They don't offer, wrestling. I think the one that I'm missing that I could have done through basis would have been swimming, or basis considers chess a sport, and I didn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't have done very well in swimming.
You don't have that buoyancy to stay afloat?
Absolutely not.
That's all right. You made it up in several other areas. So,
well, hey, and I'm sure if he's that athletic to do that, he can jump in the pool and swim. I'm sure. Well, that is awesome. And how did your coaches feel about this? I know some of them were the same coach, but when you had a couple different coaches, how did that work? Because I know coaches want you full time nowadays.
Yeah. There's a bit of conflict. No one was ever, came up to me and asked me to, give up a sport or anything. Mm-hmm. But you can tell, like, one time my coach was like, yeah, you should be at this practice because we're about to have a meet. And this was my basketball coach. And I was like, that's exactly when I'm running my state cross country race. Like, I can't be there. And he's like, okay, like, I guess that's fine. And we just work it out. Got to be agreeable. For volleyball, my dad was my coach. For track, I pretty much didn't miss any practices. I was pretty dedicated to that. So I would say cross country and tennis were the ones that were getting missed a little bit. But you just got to go up, talk to the coaches, let them know. Half of them are my teachers, so I'll see them in class.
Right.
I'm like, hey, I can't come to this practice. This is why. I'm not getting out of shape. It's just I can't come to this practice. So, yeah.
But how important is that to be able to, especially as a high school student, kind of self-advocate for yourself, to be able to go up and talk to the teachers and not necessarily, and your coaches and everything else, and not necessarily rely on your parents to come in and do it for you? How important is that to be able to self-advocate?
Yeah, it's really important. I think the best thing is just have a good relationship with them. If you're on bad terms with them, ahead of time before the season starts, if they're your teacher, like, for example, my tennis coach was my statistics teacher and my business teacher. Like, if I was a bad student in class, or if I was rude to them, I think it'd be a lot harder for me to be on that tennis team. So I think it's important to just have a good relationship with everybody before even going into the season.
Nice.
Yeah,
Coach Neal.
Yes, sir.
What was his tennis coach? What teacher was it?
I don't remember.
I want to hear you say statistics. Look, I can't even say it.
See, you can't even say it. So you can leave me alone.
Look, I'm trying to set you up, set myself up.
That's right. That's what you get. I tell you, 2024 is going to be a great year for me. I'm a VA, you guys. He's already in the box.
Statistics, man. I can say it. Statistics.
Right, statistics.
All right.
I can say that. And I can be a statistician. So take that.
You stuttered a little bit. You stuttered.
Right. So, but playing all these sports, did you know you were going to do that going into high school? And did that make a decision as to which high school you were going to go to?
I didn't know that. Yeah. My parents, so I went to basis from 5th grade to 12th. And the idea was I was going to go to basis, for academic reasons, 5th through 8th. And then after that, I could choose if I wanted to switch or if I wanted to stay at basis. And I think if I had been, really dominant in one sport, I probably would have, gone to flag high and really tried to maximize that sport. But at that time, I was still, a bit of soccer, a bit of cross country, considering playing a bit more basketball. Right. And so with that, and there was no really reason to switch. I was happy with the school. I was happy with my friends. So I ended up just staying, and then slowly just started picking up more sports.
Right. And doing all these sports and talking about the relationship with your coaches and your teachers, we know how much time you have to be away from class, on road trips, things like that. How did that affect, or how did you handle that?
Yeah, you got to be on top of it. There was a few missed homework assignments that,
right.
Try and reach out to the teachers, like, hey, I missed it for this reason.
Right.
For the most part, it's just, try and get it done ahead of time. The schedules are posted, months in advance. I can see them. I can ask for homework assignments early. I can do makeup tests. I can go to tutoring. Luckily, both my brother and my parents are somehow still remember what they were doing in high school, and they can be quite helpful with homework as well. So, just having a support system and being on top of it.
Right.
So, Evan, what are you majoring in? What are you pursuing in college? What are you going to be when you grow up?
Yeah, so I'm hoping to go into physical therapy.
Okay.
But right now, my major is global and community health. I might switch that to biology, just depending on the classes I prefer. So I'd do that for 4 years at Santa Cruz, and then I might actually come to NAU to do PT school for 2 years.
Right.
Okay, nice. It's a lot of opportunities in that. My daughter, she's a doctor of physical therapy, and so there's definitely opportunities in that.
Yeah, it seems good.
Right. Obviously, you're going to need about 5 or 6 different things to be working on. You need 5 jobs to just stay in it. Well, Aaron, you are very, very impressive, man. You're doing something that I just don't think I could have pulled off. But I'm just looking at you in awe, man. So it is that time of the show where we ask you to impart a little wisdom on your peers, on the adults out there, anybody listening, and we do it through a question, which is our Coach Johnson Golden Nugget question of the day. Get him, Coach.
All right, Evan. So when you were in high school, could you just share with us a moment of adversity and how you got through it and what you learned from that moment?
Yeah, I think probably the hardest moment for me was I got a staph infection, which is just a full body sepsis infection. The beginning of my junior year. It's got its complications, but kind of like any other injury, you just got to give it time, got to be smart with it. And yeah, that made me miss my pretty much my entire junior soccer season and cross country season, which was like the last season I had with my brother and all the other seniors. And that was probably the hardest time for me in sports and probably my life. And you just keep on going, keep on trying, go for next year. Even if there's no next year, keep training, do whatever you can and just, keep your head up.
Nice, nice. Yeah, definitely don't give up, especially through them tough times. I mean, look at you.
Definitely,
You kept going, and here you are. I think you hold the city record for the most sports
yeah.
lettered in high school. You know what I mean? I can't see anybody even beating that. So, and
City
then
record, state
doing great
record.
things. What's that?
I say city record, state record, national record or something. That's pretty
Yeah,
good.
yeah. So that's awesome, Noah. That's awesome. That's a great, perseverance, and you can just tell that you're the type of person that you put one foot in front of the other and get after it, man. And so it was a pleasure just sitting up and
Yeah.
chopping it up with you this morning. So thank you very much for being on the
Thank you
show.
guys for having me. Appreciate it.
Hey, Evan, I appreciate you, and I don't know. I'm sitting there thinking I know you from somewhere other than this. I'm trying to figure it out right now. But man, we're just the city's proud of you. That's the great part of this show is to bring someone out like you who people don't know that much about, who's just doing something that's truly, truly above and beyond. And it just shows again that the young folks that come out of this town are incredible. And you're one of them that you're at the top of the list. If there's anything we can ever do for you, if there's something you want to put out there, if you're selling T-shirts or something, want us to buy one, well, I'll borrow the money from Coach Johnson and I'll get one. But hey, man, you're just an impressive young man. Kudos to you, to your parents, to your siblings, to have your back and help you be the young man that you are. So congratulations and thank you for being on the show.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, Evan, best of luck this season. I'm gonna follow in and just kind of see what you're doing throughout the indoor track season, and then I'm gonna look forward to seeing them numbers in that decathlon.
Sweet.
That's right. And then we'll get you back on the show. Okay. Hey,
Sounds
thank
good.
you, Evan. Good luck.
Yeah.
Happy New Year to you.
Yeah, Happy New Year. Take care.
All right. All right, Coach. But see, man, we get smarter every week, man. We learn something. We find out about these kids and didn't know all that was happening at basis.
Yeah, nah, and one of the things too, when he was talking about the seniors, they only go for a couple months, they senior year, and then they have all that time off in the spring and whatnot. I had no idea they doing it like an internship almost,
Right. But they give them that senior project, so they give them something to
Right.
work on, and that could be a number of things,
Yeah.
So
cool.
just kudos to Basis, and please, any of the coaches over at Basis, AD, hit us up. We want to get as many of you guys on the show as possible. And you people out there, if you like what we're doing, hit that like button, subscribe, send live comments. You see us on the streets. Hey, man, I got this guy that's, playing 7 sports that can beat him or something. That's what we're looking for. Young people like Evan to highlight. And that's what this show is about, to highlight athletes past, present, and beyond that are doing great things.
Man, you talking like Buzz Lightyear, infinity and beyond, huh? Go ahead on, Coach.
Hey, man, I'm just saying, man, it's so many good. I know we're missing a lot of good kids out there that are doing big things that we just don't know about, and we need a little help getting them here because they need to be highlighted and honored and put out there for folks to know. Because all you hear is the bad things that are happening. And that's not that many kids doing that. We have some very, very great kids, coaches, teachers, administrators in this town that we need to put out there and let them know that everybody's doing the things that Coach Johnson's. Well, not everybody doing the things Coach Johnson's doing. You can't go the whole year and be perfect. But anyway, Coach, we got to get on that bus, man. We got to get on that bus, go down to St. Mary's and play tonight. So, I know you got to work today, so I'm going to let you get out of here and go do what you got to do. So, we're supposed to be on the bus at 1. So, we'll see you about 1:15.
That's when the bus leave. I'll be there. But while you giggling, somebody might not make the trip. A team might not make the trip if I don't get something within the next couple minutes.
I got you, man. I got you. See, he needs his team travel roster, and it's fluid as we speak. I just got a text right now. It's fluid, Coach. Yeah. I will get that to you because it'd be horrible for you to have the underclassmen, the juniors, and the freshmen and the sophomores on your varsity playing both games.
That would be, but we'll do it. Look at man, I'm gonna see you this afternoon. I ain't got time to mess with you no more. I got things to do, like you said. Hey. I don't know what everybody got to do. We do appreciate you joining us. This was our first show in 2024. Hope that you enjoyed it. Evan was a great guest. Look forward to many more this year. Let me see. You ain't got it in the camera.
Trying to put it in the camera, man. This is tough stuff here.
Ew.
My eagle cup,
baby. Get that going. Hey, I don't know what y'all got to do. Hope you have a great day, but I do know one thing. You ain't got to go home.
But you got to leave here. Happy New Year. Peace.